I faced and thinking through the results of the last batch, just a quick overview of it. We made a delight. We added a combination of chia as well as flax to it, as well as reduced some of the omega-6 heavy nuts and introduced a macadamia to try and get the omega ratios right. The results of that, firstly, was the macadamia made the end product super soft. It's pleasant, but we can't have a form like that unless we introduce a different product. But also, what still came through quite strong was the seeds. So I gave that one some thought. I'll get back to that now. And then on balance, we get closer to a product, but the seed flavor still came through, and I'd like to work on that formulation a little bit to change that. But the purpose there is slightly different to the delight. The delight must be flavor and texture first. It must be amazing. In the balance, it's a butter or a cream. And that has to be pleasant, agree, but the functionality in that has to be strong. And then charge we did again. I mainly just made it because I was out of stock for myself. That remains a pleasant product, and I think I'm going to keep that like that for the time being. So next what we're going to do is we're going to do batches 88, 89, and 90. I decided to go back just to reset the whole delight formulations. I've got some really nice formulations in the past, and 3 of those I want to just bring back. The purpose of going back to these old recipes and the ones that were good is just to get the picture back in my mind to where we were and evaluate that then and see where we're going to go from that. So we're going to actually do 3 delight recipes this time. So the one is got a combination of the 3 nuts that we used to have, used to use in it, which is the hazelnut, the pecans, and the almonds. And then in the other 2, I've gone back to one of my original formulations where I just use the hazelnut in combination with the coconut and the cocoa nibs. And then I've got a iteration of that where I introduce a little bit of coffee in that. So just to go over, so the one will be a combined Treenut formulation, which was the hazelnut, the pecan, as well as the almond. And then I've got 2 batches containing just the hazelnut and coconut, and the one iteration from that is one with coffee. So I'm looking forward to the outcome of this. I'm making smaller batches, just 500 grams per batch. Let's see where this takes us. Okay, we're ready to start the next roasting cycle. So I'm going to start this time small amounts of almonds and pecans. That's only in batch 90, which is the combined Treenut version. Okay, the almonds are coming to the end of their cycle. Next, we're going to do the pecans. Also just a small quantity. It's just the one batch. So pecans are coming to the end. Next, we're doing the coconut. Okay, that's the coconut. Okay, we're just going to set the temperature up a bit for the hazelnut. Oh, this is the biggest because there's hazelnut in every one of the recipes. That and coconut. And of course, cocoa and cocoa butter. Okay, that's the end of the hazelnut and our roasting for the day. Okay, so we're about to load batches 88, 89 and 90. 88 is a hazelnut-based delight. 89 is a hazelnut with coffee-based delight. And then in the old Mellinger, we're going to load the combined tree nuts to see what the outcome is. I'm also going to try something new today. I used to always just load each individual ingredient. So weigh them down, put them in the blender, and then load them in the Mellingers. Today the batches are fairly small, so I'm going to just try and combine it all. But speed doesn't always work, so let's see. Okay, that's that one. Machine number 1. Next one we're going to load the combination is machine number 2. This is the one where we're going to add a little bit of coffee later. Smells so good. I'm going to just do a tasting, yeah? It's a pure, just commercial nut butter. It would be a great product, but that's not what we want to achieve. Okay, that's it now. Next we're going to load the cocoa liquor and cocoa butter. The cocoa butter, the next one is the cocoa liquor. Okay, next is the soluble fiber. Okay, that's it now. It's just smalls, and that'll load after lunch. Let it run for a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Lunch was good, and I had a tablespoon of balance afterwards. It's the one that's quite heavy on chia, but I think I'm getting used to the chia, so wasn't bad. But yes, as I did in the tasting, it can be a lot better. So we're going to do the Himalayan salt first. That is nice. Very strong hazelnut coming through at this stage. Get the one with the coffee. Coffee gets you straight away. The first one we're going to temper is the Hazelnut Delight. Now this one might react a little bit different because it's got less of the nuts in and it's got a higher cocoa butter content. I still don't believe that we can temper this in the traditional way of tempering a chocolate. So I'm going to do it as I've been doing the delights and the nut butters to date. It's just taking the temperature down. Well, first up and then down. The other factor is the ambient temperature is going up, so we're getting to late spring. So even the granite is slightly warmer than it was before, and that also might impact it. Okay, that's the hazelnut done. This is going to be quite interesting. On the one hand, I was looking forward to this tasting. On the other hand, I'm feeling a bit nervous and anxious. Just before we go into the tasting, there's just some observations and what happened since the tempering and molding in this case, that was done now 24 hours ago. The temperature yesterday, the ambient, was higher than it's been in the last 6 months. So it's our first day sort of early or late spring, going towards summer now. So the average temperature was around 24 degrees. It definitely impacted the tempering. I've been doing these batches through winter up to now, and I can see in the the um, the color and the dullness or sheen of the product, which is more stable than the other. For example, these ones here with the hazelnut-based delight that we did first, it had a higher cocoa butter content than the one done second. The one done second has got a lot more shine to it. That doesn't mean temper in this case. That means instability. And that was the delight done with a blend of the different tree nuts with a lower cocoa butter content. And then this one here was the same cocoa butter content as the hazelnut. So that's a hazelnut-based one where we added coffee, and we can again see there's dullness on it. So I'm expecting the two hazelnut ones to be firmer just by visually looking at it than the mixed tree nuts one. But let's start and see where we go with this. So the first one we're going to is the delight, the hazelnut one with the whole hazelnut inclusions. It's actually not bad. I was expecting a lot worse with the demolding. I hope I get a piece of hazelnut. It's actually quite nice. It's stable. The melt away to me happens too fast. I would like it to be a little bit slower. That's also got to do with the fats. The flavor is really nice. It's got a slight astringency to it. And it's got a very pleasant aftertaste. I'm a little bit concerned about the sweetness of it. For me, it's fine at the moment. I think in the current diet I'm having, I'm actually not looking for overly sweet. I'm looking for a more cocoa hazelnut rich experience, and I'm certainly getting some of that. So I think, yeah, I was surprised with this, especially with the stability of the butters in it. Okay, next I'm just going to get one whole one. Again, beautiful. Very pleasant. Nice. I'm actually enjoying this tasting. As I say, it's never too early for chocolate. And this is quite early now. It is 7:45 in the morning. Very nice. Okay, the next one is, it's going to be, I'm going to have the delight, which was the combination of hazelnut, almonds, and pecans. It's got less cocoa butter in it. And it has, the first one I'm going to do is got the hazelnut pieces in it. Or the whole hazelnuts. Also not bad. Less stable. Also very nice. The hazelnut one, a little bit more intense than this one. Let's go for the clean one. Again, also really not bad. I was quite nervous about it yesterday, and I was actually a bit negative, but I think I'm pleasantly surprised with both of them up to now. Also pleasant. I think in this one I prefer the pure hazelnut one. Let's do a tasting of that again. Oh, it's nice. Difficult decision. So next one. So I had some of these coffee ones, and I can see there where I had hazelnut in. So I'm just going to demold one of those first. Also not bad. I want to get a hazelnut piece. Coffee is there. It's good. Let me just see for these if they demold properly. That's it. Right. Nearly went on the floor there. But that looks good. Again, texture is looking nice. I'm actually feeling a lot better now. I was sort of believing that, based on the sheen on it, that we weren't going to get the stability that's required of it, and it actually came out nice. I'm looking forward to sharing this with the family, so we're going to see what they think of it. But for now, I'm pleasantly surprised.